Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy, John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go back at you with another one. My boys, Vlad and Barry. What's good, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Excited as always to be here and ready for another great episode. We're on to episode 53. This is a big one for us since it's close to the 1-year anniversary of our first episode that came out last year.
Actually, this episode will be coming out one day before our 1-year anniversary, since the first podcast dropped everywhere out there. So this is a big show, man. Episode 53. So I'm thinking Josh Uche right now,
Yes.
who is the former what's his name? Boy, that's coming back to the Patriots.
Calvin Noy.
Kyle Van Noy, yes.
We even got another Patriot as well, another Patriot great, Larry Izzo.
Larry Izzo, special teams great, forever remembered. That's all he ever played. Except the
He played a
occasional
little linebacker.
occasional
He played some
linebacker, you know, in emergency situations, you know. But he did well, though.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. He had a
Mhm.
good career, I think, you know, for sure. So he definitely did his thing. Another person I'd even say, I think it was Mike Pouncey, the one.
Mike
one of the
Pouncey, he just
brothers.
retired.
Yep.
He
from
just
the
retired.
Steelers. So
Mhm.
yeah, he was 53. So yeah, he had a good career as well, even though he never won a Super Bowl or anything. But you know, he
Yeah.
played for what you know for about 12 seasons, I want to say, and definitely did his thing. So yeah, I think that I don't know if there's any other 53s at least that I can think of off the top of
Right,
my
Pouncey.
head.
I remember his last you know, the last scene there when the Steelers lost, him and Roethlisberger on the bench. Roethlisberger's like, "Yeah, I came back for you, man," you know, and it was like borderline crying on the bench, man. That was crazy, you know. And then Juju
that was
came
emotional.
by.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I saw that. Yeah.
Juju's like, "I'm sorry about the Corvettes, guys. Like, you know, the Corvette got to his head, you know what I'm saying? So he had to apologize about that. You know, before the game ended there.
Barry doesn't know what you're talking about.
He has no idea what I'm talking. You don't know the Corvettes, bro? Juju Smith in the dance.
Oh yeah, no. I do doing him doing the TikToks. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I knew. I knew what you were saying. Yeah, no, that I knew that's what they call the Corvette, the dance that he was doing on the TikToks he used to do in the middle of the field before the game. So yeah, I saw a meme even about that like, you know, was about him going up to both guys, Big Ben and Mike Pouncey, and apologizing, and they just didn't want to have it. They were just like, "Bro, get out of here! Like, we don't want to talk to you, man. Like,
It's like, bro, we're old.
Season.
We're old, bro. Like, you're a young guy.
Yeah, right.
Still,
We ain't about the TikTok life. Exactly. That's your generation. Yeah.
You mess around too much.
Right. For real. Seriously. So, yeah, no, it was
man.
pretty funny.
For sure, man.
To say the least.
On to episode 53 we go, but before that, so we're about to come on to the 1-year anniversary, man. We've been dropping episodes consistently on a weekly basis. Any part of what we've been doing so far that's the most memorable to you?
To me, I don't know. Most memorable. I don't know if I have a most memorable. I think I would say dropping the podcast really. Just getting it started was exciting. And I think the best part of it is just our consistency and being here every week and haven't missed a week yet.
Right. Knock on wood.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
knock
that's,
on the wood too.
they say sometimes the journey is the best part of achieving the goal. So I think coming here every week, talking about sports, and not missing a week, like I said, and being consistent is what's best about this.
For sure. Barry, yourself?
Yeah, I got some things that were memorable to me. Through our year of doing this podcast. I'd probably say the episode we did about the last draft. I thought that was pretty funny. That was a pretty memorable episode, as well as the one that we did at the Kush Groove shop. Shout out to Kush Groove. I thought that was pretty cool being able to do it in the episode in a different location that we've done it. So that was a nice experience and moment to to have. That I'm definitely grateful for. And then what's it called? I think probably my favorite episode would be from the line that I dropped when I said that these guys, these Patriots receivers can get separation from a parked car. I think that's probably my favorite episode, my favorite line that I've said. I even remember that episode. It was episode 30, I believe. And it's crazy what 23 episodes after that and still doing our thing. So just love that doing what we're doing, and love talking sports every week with you guys. It's definitely been a pleasure, and definitely appreciative and grateful for this opportunity and to be able to do this every week consistently without taking it off is definitely been impressive, and something that I'm glad that we've done, and I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with you guys. So I think those would be my favorite memories. Oh yeah, now another one was when I called out Jamal Adams in the Jets and said, "Who the fuck wants to play for the New York Jets?" I thought that was a pretty funny line in episode. So those are my favorite memories from the podcast so far.
Yeah, I think I share both the stuff with you guys. I think the dry runs that we were doing, to get it ready. I think most of all it's like the learning process. You know what I'm saying? Because we came from we never recorded nothing before. You know what I'm saying? The figuring out, the mixer, how to put that on the camera, finding equipment, getting audio guys for help and stuff like that. The Kush Groove experience was dope. So shout out to Ernst and the Kush Groove over there. The guys that came from Flickr, that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? That was a cool episode. We had a pop-up shop. You know what I'm saying? I think, like Vlad was saying, it's just a journey, man. And we've been building something, and it's been going well. And I think, like we always say, it's about the work that we've been doing. And we don't celebrate too much, you know what I'm saying? But every time we get a milestone, I think it's good to celebrate a little bit. You know what
I'm surprised none of you guys mentioned the interview with Mikey.
Bruh.
Oh yeah, shoot, that's another one. Yeah, good point, Don. How could we forget about that? Yeah, that was being the biggest guest that we've had.
That's the biggest interview we've had up to this point.
For sure.
NBA Buzz. Shout outs to them, dude. Such a big platform to have us. Not even a year in, and they came on. Mikey came on and partnered up with us and stuff, and it's pretty dope. It just says, what we're doing is working. And, you know,
Right.
we're guys that just like to work. So that's what we're going to keep doing. You know what I mean? So happy 1 year anniversary. You know what I mean? I think on Wednesday, we're going to try and do a live since that's the actual, you know, day that we dropped. And it's the actual day that we dropped a year ago, our first episode. So catch us on the live. You know what I mean? With that said, please follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, profans_sports. We're on Twitter.com/profansports. We're on Facebook.com/profansports. If you like to watch these YouTube videos, YouTube.com/profansports. If you're watching now, please make sure you press the subscribe button, the notification buttons, and make sure you're on the lookout for these episodes. And as always, we're going to get into the NBA, the NFL, MLB, NHL, B-Money Lifestyle Person of the Week. We got some questions from some people this week, so we'll get into all of that. You know, we don't want to talk too much because there's a lot of stuff going on, especially with the NFL, you know, free agency and stuff. So let's get to it, man. NBA. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA. Second half, like we mentioned last week, started. Some big news, you know, that actually happened this week since the last episode. Lamella Ball fractured a bone in his wrist, and you know, that was terrible. I seen that. He will be out for the remainder of the year, and that's very unfortunate because he was the Rookie of the Year front runner, I think, by far. You know what I'm saying? I think Anthony Edwards was definitely inching closer, but it wasn't that close, you know. But now I can assume he'll probably end up with that trophy unless they do like co-Rookie of the Year or something, you know. But yeah, he's out for the remainder of the year. LeBron James is expected to miss several weeks with a high ankle sprain. So that happened in the second quarter of the game against Atlanta Hawks. His ankle got rolled up on by another player, and you know, it's unfortunate because Anthony Davis is out for the Lakers as well. And there's no timetable for those guys right now, so we'll keep you updated on what's going on with that. Some new faces hitting up some other places, like PJ Tucker. He made it to the Bucks, and now him and Giannis don't have to defend each other anymore. You know, and I saw that game the other day, and he looked like you know, he was making impact plays, so good for him. But he got traded to the Bucks for guards DJ Augustin, forward DJ Wilson, and the Bucks' first round pick in 2023. So that's a good price for a PJ Tucker. Myers Leonard. You know, if you guys might remember, we actually reported about him last week where we talked about him using an anti-Semitic word. And since then, he has been traded to the Portland Trailblazers, I believe. No, actually, he got traded to OKC for Trevor Ariza. So for a second-round pick in 2027. That's a long time from now. And these guys, the OKC
from now.
OKC's racking up picks like I don't know how they're gonna use them.
Seriously,
I don't know how they're gonna use all their picks.
For real, yeah, they're gonna have to trade some of them away because they've got too many picks to be able to use. I thought the Celtics had a lot of draft picks and stuff, but shoot, they ain't got nothing on OKC. Yeah, man, it's crazy how many picks they got.
Yeah, man. Vlad, you were saying something?
Oh, they're gonna move back to Seattle.
Are they?
No, I don't know.
Stop playing. Actually, that would be dope because I know Seattle really wants a team back over there. So, I mean, I say leave OKC where it's at and maybe get another team out there.
Nah,
no expansion teams.
Seattle Supersonic, man. I don't know why they moved into OKC.
I'm just saying though, like OKC seems to be supporting their team pretty good year in and year out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
they got a pretty good arena.
I don't like I wouldn't want it to be 31. I would they would have to do 2 expansion teams to be like 32 to make it even.
Yeah,
right, yeah, because they wouldn't want an odd number of teams. That would make sense. So.
Yeah,
So-
get 32 teams. You know, put one in some odd ass place like Delaware.
So
or
let
some
me
shit.
ask you, Delaware. This week. So if they move
Delaware, what?
if they make a team, if they bring back the Supersonic, what's the other city that you would like to see a team at? Quick, very quick, since we have a lot to talk about.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, shoot. Damn. I don't know. Somewhere. Oregon?
Maybe Arizona.
No. Trailblazers, right? Is in Oregon?
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Yep.
Maybe
the Trailblazers over there.
maybe Arizona or something.
Arizona.
No, the Phoenix.
Phoenix
Pistons.
Like New Mexico or some shit. I don't know.
No, you know what I was
maybe.
thinking? I was thinking Vegas.
Okay, Barry, that's a good one. That's a
good one.
They're already the Vegas Raiders and the Vegas Golden Knights, the hockey team. So
That's a really good one, Barry.
You know, right? That would make sense. And they have the summer league, out there too as well. So
okay.
What about Maine?
I'm thinking that could be another.
No. All right, that's it. Let's move on. I think Barry won that one. That was
No, for real.
Right.
No, Vegas is definitely a good
I'll
one.
take the W on that for sure.
I mean, I said Delaware. You guys didn't like Delaware, so.
Bro, Delaware.
Delaware, what? Have you even been to Delaware?
It's like, what the hell is in Delaware? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. What
I've
you're talking
actually
about,
been
man.
out there, and there's legit nothing there. So
Right.
yeah, I don't see any sort of sports franchise being built,
Right.
over there. Right.
You know, you got to cue in Joakim Noah. Who the hell wants to go to vacation in Delaware?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Joking. He said that about Cleveland. So more news. KD, Kevin Durant, he's expected out 1 or 2 more weeks with a lingering left hamstring situation. He's been out since before the All-Star game. And, you know, I mean, right now it seems like, you know, they're not telling us, you know, the truth about what's going on because, you know, he's been out for a while. But I know hamstrings are tricky. And he's a tall, lanky dude.
He had the injury last year, so I think
The Achilles.
They're being very careful with it, which I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, Atlanta Hawks have won 8 straight games since Nate McMillan took over as head coach. You know, that's pretty good. I like Nate McMillan, and he's been doing a good job so far. They beat the Lakers, you know, the last game they played. So we'll see. You know, I seen you know, they're taking on the attitude of Rajon Rondo over there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he got into it with Dennis Schroeder the other game when they played the Lakers. That's right. So now they have definitely been playing much better. The Atlanta Hawks, you know, Rondo's even playing better himself and starting to play, you know, more minutes. And so, you know, that you know, I like what I'm seeing from John Collins. He's a really good, you know, young player and a good piece. You know, Trae Young's doing his thing as always. So that's, you know, no surprise to anybody now. But no, they got a nice team over there. So I'm glad that Nate McMillan got another opportunity to be a head coach, and he's taking, you know, full advantage of it. I hope that they end up hiring him, you know, in the offseason and giving him a contract to be the next head coach.
We'll see what happens, man. And the Houston Rockets, man, they're on a 20-game losing streak. You know, they had
20 straight. My God.
Right. They have a new coach, I believe Silas.
Steven Silas, right.
Steven Silas, and, you know,
Who's
things are not looking
head coach, right.
Things are not looking good over there, man. You know, he could be out of there pretty soon if things, you know,
I don't know,
continue the way
because
it
this
is.
is his first year, so you got to at least give him 2 years. Especially this is only his first year with the Rockets. It's his first year head coaching, and it's crazy because he's been an assistant coach in the NBA for about 20 years. So like, I don't think it's fair, particularly with the team that they have. The team's an absolute mess, the Houston Rockets. So I think they at least got to give him another chance and give him at least another year to be able to, you know, get this ship right, and you know, and
We'll see what happens,
play
man.
the team.
we'll see what
hopefully
happens.
the team plays better, right?
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, for a first-year coach, and I feel for him because he's a black coach, and I want him to do good. So we'll see what happens with him. And on to the Celtics, man, which is what we mainly talk about when it comes to the NBA segment here. So a couple things happening with the Celtics. They haven't been playing well, obviously. Since the All-Star break came back, they've won a couple games. And not like against, the best teams in the league, games that they should have won. And then some games that they should have won, they've lost anyway. The team right now looks bad, you know what I'm saying? Because they're 500 right now?
Yeah, exactly.
They're 500 right now.
21,
21-21. And, some things are going around, right? So they played since the NBA came back from the All-Star break. They've played the Rockets, which they've won 134-107. That's like a G League team right now. They played the Jazz, and they lost 117-109. They played the Cavaliers, which we should have won. They lost 117-110. They lost against the Kings, 107-96. And then they won against the Magic, 112-96. Jaylen Brown had a career high in 10 3-pointers made in the game. So, what is going on with the Celtics? Like, what are you guys seeing? Why have we been struggling lately? And, what are your thoughts?
Well, the Celtics are not playing defense. They're not putting the effort out there. They're just not playing with urgency, and they're not playing together on offense and defense. On offense, there's a lot of ISO. As there's been all year, and nothing has been made to correct that. On defense, guys are missing. They're just not communicating. They're not playing defense together. They're not switching. They're not switching when they need to switch. They're not running back on fast break. It's just the effort is just not there. I mean, I don't know what to say. I think it's on the players, but I think it's also on the coach. I mean, all year guys are just not playing together. It's just, I don't know. It's a very disappointing team to watch, especially against the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are not even a team that nobody should be losing to. And coming into that game, those guys were not playing with urgency. I think they were expecting to beat the Cavs, and they didn't play with the oomph to beat the Cavs. They thought they were just gonna get on the court and beat the Cavs.
They're not a team, to be losing to and stuff, but they play hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Cavs.
Yeah,
the Cavs they play hard.
No, they do.
They play hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, they're not that great. You know what I mean? We should have won, but you're not going to beat any team if you're not playing hard yourself.
Exactly.
Especially if you don't have the talent to be able to get away with that. And we clearly
You can't slack, bro.
Yeah. It's just we have a couple of guys that excels every night. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. But besides that, the team is they're just not playing together. It's a really bad team to watch. I try to watch every game, but it's not. I'm not excited to watch the Celtics. I'm not it's just not exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm certainly with you on that, Vlad. It's been a very frustrating, season with the Celtics, and I think right at this point they are what they are. They're just not a very good basketball team. They're a mediocre basketball team. At best, they don't have much talent, outside of their two All-Stars. I think it's pretty much a two-man team, and and they have a couple of nice pieces like Robert Williams, who's been playing better and stuff, and Payne Pritchard's been contributing as well when he's on the floor, and I think even and Kemba Walker when he plays has been done well, but he's been inconsistent and just not as good as we expected him to be. But I just think this team definitely lacks, depth, particularly in the bench. They're not really getting any production from their bench outside of, Robert Williams and Ben Pritchard. I don't, I'm not seeing really anyone else, step up and play well. Even Marcus Smart, even, since he came back, he hasn't been playing well and giving the team the spark and the, boost that we thought, he would give them. He definitely, in a couple of those games that they've lost, he, made some poor, shot selections and poor decisions at the end. That
Marcus?
Yeah,
not Marcus. He never does that.
John, don't say that. I know you're
no, not Marcus.
But I don't. I hear what that's funny, but he certainly hasn't been playing the best since he's gone back. I know he hasn't played in a while, but I just thought that with him being back and the team being fully healthy, they would be playing better, and they're just not. I think it's a lot of things that are going wrong with this team. Certainly, guys not being able to score. Particularly when they put the bench in. There's no scoring outside of our really top three guys. I think guys just aren't they're just not being consistent, like Vlad said, with their energy and with their intensity. They're not bringing it every night. They're playing down to their competition, and it's clearly showing because games like the Cavs and the Kings, they those should be, wouldn't say automatic wins, but you should win those games if you actually play the way that you're capable of and supposed to play. And they clearly didn't. They thought they could just show up and go through the motions and win the game, and they clearly don't have a good enough team to be able to do that. So I think certainly they have to change something and look to do something at the deadline, even if it's not a big move. They just have to be able to at least get a piece and get somebody that can help them in their rotation, because they don't really have a very good rotation right now, and a deep
maybe an
rotation
Aaron
either.
Gordon, because he just asked for a trade, right?
Right.
He just
That would
requested a
certainly
trade.
help.
That's another NBA news.
Right. That would be a good piece that could certainly help this team play better and and give them some more athleticism and another guy that could score for sure, that and give them size. So I think it's just it's just a team that's kind of lifeless right now, and a team that just really it seems as if they don't really care, and they don't really play with any pride or any heart. Particularly when they get down in games, it's like they give up too easily. So I think those are the issues with the Celtics, and unfortunately, unless if they make some changes to the roster, I don't see this this season going any different than what it's gone for them. I think they are what they are at this point.
Yeah, I think I go back to what Vlad always says, and we always laugh at it. Danny Ainge tried to fool us with Jeff Teague and Tristan Thompson. I mean, if you think about it, man, that's
God.
Basically, that was it, because what's his name? Gordon left, and then we got Teague and Tristan. You know what I mean? And both two veterans that really haven't done shit up to this point, for this team. You know what I'm saying? Tristan Thompson had a couple good games, but not really huge impact. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Teague, he's very hot and cold. You know what I mean? And
Streaky,
turnovers,
absolutely.
streaky sometimes. Sometimes he's hitting what he's supposed to.
He's more cold than he is hot.
Exactly. And
That is
it looks
true,
like,
right?
listen, man, Jeff Teague was a dog a few years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
5 years ago.
Yeah, when he was in his prime, exactly. Right.
You know, he was a dog back then, and he used to be one of the fastest guys on the court at all times. And you know, one of the first things athletes lose is that speed. You know, after a while, and you know, it's kind of happened to him. And you know, he just hasn't made like that big of an impact. Our bench, man, we don't have a bench. Like, we really don't have.
We really don't. Besides Robert Williams, who should actually be starting.
Even Robert Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like, even he's not like very consistent. He's been consistent in the last few games that he's played.
Lately, as of late, yeah.
Right, to the point where people are asking for him to be a starter. But like, can you trust him to, you know?
I think I agree with Barry. I think I would like to see him start.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him start too.
I think at some point, young players, you don't get to see what they're made of until you actually give them the opportunity to start. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, if he's always coming off the bench, then you're always gonna get that bench, whatever he brings off the bench. But if you start him, he might have a different impact on the game. So I actually would like to see him start.
Right, and we have 3 stars, man, that should be able to score, you know, when they want to, but that hasn't been happening. It's been pretty inconsistent for them. And if our stars score less than 20 points in any given game, like, we're not winning the game. You know what I'm saying? Because where else is the points coming from? You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody else we have that can take over games anywhere on this roster. You know what I mean? If 2 of our stars have a bad game, we're going to lose the game. If 2 of them is not having like a really good game, and that means like 25, 30 points, you know, a piece, we're not going to have a chance, you know, just because like we don't have anybody that can cover that slack. And
I think one of the things that we kind of miss sometimes with the Celtics is the guys are scoring, and it's great. And we need Jaylen Brown, we need Jason Tatum to score, and we need Kemba to be Kemba. But at assist, like, this team doesn't average a very high number of assists. And I think we're not going to be a good team. We're not going to be a good playoff team. We're not going to make it past the first round of the playoffs until that assist number starts going up. It's about making the other guys better, you know. I think it's about making Robert Williams better. It's about making Ojale. I think Ojale's been so much better this year. I'm not saying
he's been
great.
Solid.
I'm not saying he's great or anything, but I think the other guys can help him be better. You know,
Ojale's done his part this year.
Yeah, so I think
he hasn't been completely trashed. He's at least contributed. Right,
I think we need to see those assist numbers go up for sure.
Listen, I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum scored like 15 points and like 17, 18 points in one of those games that we lost, and it was like, if our stars
against the Cavs, it might have been that
something
Cavs
like
game,
that. They scored very low, and I'm like, you know,
it's ain't gonna cut it. This is not gonna, not acceptable and going to get it done. Right?
If we have one star that goes as hard as Colin Sexton does every night, I think this team would be all right.
The worst part was you lose to the Cavs, right? And you're like, okay, that sucks. Like, this is bad. And then the next game, you're like, okay, you're playing another sucky team, the Kings. And we lose to the Kings too.
Yeah.
I know. That was depressing.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
I hate the press conferences after. So, the team's not having fun right now. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right, y'all getting paid millions of dollars. Like, bro, I don't care what's going on, man. Share the ball. And like, I mean, it's a surprise to me because, you know, Brad Stevens always preaches about, you know, getting the ball in the right hands. You know what I mean, finding the open man. And this year it's just not happening at all. You know, it looks like they miss guys like
Horford.
Al Horford. I seen him like being proposed as a trade now. You know what I mean? From OKC, because you don't hear about Horford either.
I actually take him, to be honest, because
I would take him too.
we need
for real.
we need that ball movement, you know. And I think
Give the ball to Al Horford. All right, he can.
But
He'll take it up.
Isn't he too old? Wait. Like, as much as it might be a good idea to bring him up, like, you'd really want to see someone like that, you know, come back to the Celtics as that old and, you know, doesn't really move well. We saw him with the Sixers, and I get that wasn't a good fit with the Sixers, but he didn't really look good. He doesn't look like the Al Horford from a couple of years ago when he was on the Celtics and he was playing, you know, really well and, and an all-star caliber player.
I think
a double-double guy. I don't know if he's that same.
I think I want
player.
him. I don't need him to start necessarily. I just want him to teach those guys ball movement. I just want him to be in the offense, like maybe coming off the bench or something, just to improve the ball movement of the team. It's just not happening right now. Right now, what do you have that's really creating that ball movement that we need? Like, we don't really have anybody.
You're right. The offense isn't flowing.
Al Horford would come on this team and start right now.
Yeah, I don't need him to score. I just need him to improve the team's chemistry, improve the team's ball movement on the offense. That's all I need from him.
Yeah, and I think you made a valid point, Barry. You know what I'm saying? Because he is older now, but I don't think any team has used Al Horford like the Celtics used him since he's been traded. You know what I mean? I think he's had to adjust to different roles, different positions. The ball's not in his hands at all. You know what I mean? And I think we've used Al Horford differently than any other team he's been on so far. You know, even the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? I think
that's fair.
I feel like that's why he loved playing here until, you know, they waved that money in front of him. You know, he's older. You had to take that money. You had to go.
Right. You had to get it while you could. Right.
I think he regrets it. I don't think he's enjoyed his last couple of years in the league since he's.
No, he doesn't look like he's happy at all. No,
man.
For sure.
I think it would be great to see him back. But in other news, Danny Ainge is saying that they're probably not going to use a player exception this year. So that means offseason we go with this player exception. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, there's nobody coming here.
That's crazy. So what? We're just gonna either not make the playoff or get eliminated round one or something?
Right. It seems like it's gonna be a waste.
Or not even round one. We're gonna get eliminated the playing game because there's a playing game this year.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing that just like they did in the bubble. Right. I know that's
very disappointing to hear. That just tells me there's nothing to look forward to for the Celtics.
Yeah, there's no help. No help is on the way, guys.
That's ridiculous.
I think that's definitely a disservice.
I hope he changes his mind on that.
Fire Ainge tonight.
Fire Ainge. You think the Fire Ainge hashtag is gonna go back up?
That's my hashtag. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who else doesn't put it up. I've been on that train for a little bit now. I've been telling you guys I'm okay with.
No, you said that on this podcast.
I've said that before. I know what I say sometimes. You know, you're just like, yo, I don't know where Vlad is coming with this. You know, last year I was like, yo, I don't know about Brad Stevens. Y'all run after me.
You know what? Since you're on that right now, there is a question from Afontas and from Matapan. He's one of our supporters.
Yes,
and he
my
asked,
man right there.
When will the Celtics get rid of Danny Ainge?
They should tonight. I don't know.
Vlad, would you give him a ride to the airport if they fired him tonight?
Well, I think his family lives here, so I think he'll stay in Boston. I think he'll stay in Boston. But no, I'm just tired of Danny Ainge. I think he's been here for like 20 years or something like that.
He's been here a while now.
One championship
it's been a while.
One championship in 20 years doesn't do it. It doesn't.
Is there anybody else with that kind of tenure right now as a GM in this league?
Well, yeah, because not a lot of teams have been winning championships.
And we haven't either.
That's true. So I'm the same boat as the majority of the teams.
You know what I don't want to be in the same boat as the majority of the team in the league.
That's what we're saying.
Aren't we the Celtics, the winningest club in NBA history? You know what I mean? Aren't we supposed to?
Well, we're co-winningest.
Yeah, but aren't we supposed to be like the top dog? Top echelon. You know what I mean? So let's be that. Like. And right now, we're not getting that with Danny Ainge. It's honestly not happening. I mean, I don't know if I would have done a better job than Danny Ainge, but I'm not getting paid that much. So that's not me. But I expect more.
When will they get rid of him?
That's
Barry?
fair. Shoot, I think it'll at least be at the end of the season before he goes. I think they're gonna. I don't think they'll fire him in season in the middle of the the regular season. I think they'll wait until the off season in order to do that. If he is gonna go, but I certainly think if this team misses the playoffs or if they're one and done, which it looks like there's a good chance of that happening, then he should go and Steven should go too. I feel like they should both go together. If one gets fired, you might as well fire both of them at the same time because I feel like they're like hand in hand. They correlate with each other. So I definitely think at the end of the season, if we continue to see what we've been seeing with this team and they don't play better and don't go past the first round, then you're right. He has to go as well as Brad Stevens.
Do I think they will fire him? No. I think he's the Celtics for life, to be honest.
Okay.
Even if they don't make the playoffs, Vlad.
That was actually.
Or if they lose in the playing, game, like.
Yeah,
I don't think the Celtics with management in front office would really let him go.
I agree with Vlad, man.
I don't think so.
That was going to be my point. Like, it seems like Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens have made themselves a part of the good old boys club. You know what I'm saying? It's like these guys are in. They're in concert with each other, and when things come out, one of them is like taking shots for the other type of stuff. It looks like they're comfortable with what they're trying to do because like Brad Stevens just got a contract extension last year, y'all.
Yeah,
Brad Stevens is not going anywhere.
He can't go.
He's not going anywhere, man.
But I know I hear what you're saying, but what we've seen from this team is they've gone from an Eastern Conference finalist when the 3 of the last 4 years to now a mediocre team within one season. Like something has to change, guys. We can't bring both guys back
Barry.
and bring the same team back next year and expect for things to change and to get better. Like something this offseason, if this team doesn't make
Brad
the playoffs.
Done a terrible job?
Yes, he has.
He's done a terrible job since he's gotten this season. So how many seasons out of the whole time Brad Stevens been here has he been doing a terrible job?
1 year. I'll give him one
You know
year.
what I'm saying? So it's like
unacceptable
we can't
by Celtic standards. It's unacceptable for this team to be playing this way, and he has a lot to do with that, John.
That's by Boston standards, because any other team would want a coach like that right now, because he came in, he had the struggles, he overachieved in a lot of the seasons. You know what I mean? We were just in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, so like he's not having a great year. And look at how the team is built. It's not like he got like every, you know what I mean? He doesn't have like major all-stars.
Has a lot to do with that, though. He has something to do with that. He has say in the personnel decisions with the team. He works hand in hand with Danny Ainge as far as the roster and the guys that are on this team. So that's what I'm saying. We've got to hold him accountable. And if we continue to see what we're seeing, he should.
What do we always say, though? What do we always say? Like, this stuff doesn't fall on the coach because, like, at the end of the day, like, the players got to go out there and play, right? The coach maybe schemes you or win, a few times a year, but other than that, what are we using them for other than managing what's going on in the team? I think I agree.
Doing that.
I mean, we can't just like fire coaches off of one bad year, is what I'm saying. You know, that's why
This
I
is
don't think.
horrific. I think bad's an understatement, John. This is an horrendous year for
Yeah,
the Celtics.
I
So,
think
I
Barry's a
don't.
harsh critic.
Yeah, I don't
I think
think
Barry's a harsh critic.
I would get rid of Danny Ainge before I get rid of Brad Stevens.
I
But
think so too.
but we are running over time. I think we should move on. But yeah, Danny Ainge before Brad Stevens goes.
Yeah, for sure.
all
And
right,
I
yeah,
mean,
we'll leave
speaking of
it at
that,
that.
we were talking about Brad Stevens, right? Going and the rumors came out that I think the Indiana job, the head coach of Indiana Hoosiers, opened up, and there's a lot of rumors that came out that Brad could possibly be leaving, and he came out and pretty much refute everything. He called himself a masshole, that he's a Patriots fan. You know what I'm saying? So he's not leaving for the Indiana coaching job. Tristan Thompson, he's been out due to contact tracing for the COVID stuff. The trade deadline is on the 25th, which is this Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. And I think the last question about Danny Ainge, right? Are there any similarities between him and Coach Bill Belichick?
I'm gonna let you guys take that one.
Shoot, I don't even think it's fair to compare, those guys. And I don't think they're on the same level. I think Belichick is far more superior than Danny Ainge. That I don't even think that's a good comparison to compare the two guys. So to answer your question, no, I think Belichick is far better, and in terms of managing a team and not only getting assets but also getting talent. I don't think Danny Ainge has done a good job in the recent years and getting talent for this team, and I think that's a big reason why the Celtics are in the position that they're in, because of the lack of moves that he's made, and then also letting people go and not getting anything in return. I think certainly Belichick, the only person you could really say that is Tom Brady, that he let someone go like that and didn't get anything in return, and ended up costing him. But outside of that, I think Belichick's done a better job than Danny Ainge, and even though he's made his mistakes too, but definitely not as much mistakes as Danny Ainge has made in recent years. So I don't even think you can compare those two guys, because Belichick is so far ahead of Ainge, where they're not even the same ballpark and level at this point.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we got 6 chips in 20 years and then 1. So
For real, exactly. No comparison.
The similarities there, it's not much, but I definitely think the only similarity I see is, the lack of team building from both coaches and I mean both GMs the last year in the team. You know what I'm saying? Bill Belichick last year's football team and Danny Ainge this year's basketball team. I think they both whiffed on, making the right moves, making the right choices. But other than that, there is definitely no similarities. The Celtics got a big stretch coming up. They got I think 5 games, 6 games. No, 5 games in 7 days.
7 nights, yeah.
Yeah, 7 nights. So the Celtics versus Grizzlies, versus the Bucks twice, versus OKC once, and then versus the Pelicans. And we'll definitely update you guys on the next episode on the games that's gone on. Well, let's shift into the NFL.
Oh, guys, one last question in regard to the Celtics. I don't know if we answered this, but will they make the playoffs, or should we save that for another episode?
I mean, right now, the way they're moving, I mean, it's the Celtics, man, and I think, we have a good enough coach to try to, bring things back around a little bit. So I think we will make the playoffs, but far in the playoffs? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we'll make the playoffs. I think, like John said, I mean, we have 2 All-Star and a half on this team because right now Kemba is a half because he's basically, I don't know, he's just not Kemba right now.
Half
But
man.
Yeah, we'll definitely make the playoffs because this is the Eastern Conference the Eastern Conference after all. But if we miss it, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I think that's fair. I think they'll certainly make the playoffs. If like this team is too good not to make the playoffs, and you have 2 All-Stars on your team, like you definitely gotta find a way and and definitely make the playoffs. That's unacceptable if you don't make the playoffs with 2 All-Stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So I think they'll definitely find their way in the playoffs, but I don't even think that they'll win around. I think they'll be out in the first round, and yeah, it'll be a pretty quick exit for them. But they should be able to get into the playoffs.
Hey man, the Celtics have proved us wrong before, and hopefully
I hope
they
I'm
do
wrong.
that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm hoping I'm wrong this time too.
We did not see them going to the Eastern Conference, whatever, last year. So
that's true. We didn't. So we'll see how the season goes moving forward.